Hey guys, what's going on? Here's another video for you. This is my Electric Wizard collection. Electric Wizard is a doom metal psychedelic band that started in UK in 1993. In 1994, they released their first full-length album, self-titled. I don't have that on physical format. It's pretty good. I before like a month ago, I only kind of knew like a song here and there from it. I never really gave it a full listen. So I listened to it recently, and it's not bad. The production's good. The guitar tone is kind of and it's very reminiscent of like early doom metal, which I'm not the biggest fan of. And you know, a lot of people will consider that like sacrosanct because like I'm not a big fan of like Pentagram and Saint Vitus and Trouble and all those kind of bands, so it's not really up my alley. There's a couple standouts, like Mountain of Mars is pretty good. Black Beauty or Black Butterfly. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. The rest of them are kind of like, you know, they're trying to find their footing. There's some cool psychedelic moments in there, and his vocals are pretty cool too. But overall, it's just kind of like, it's good, but it's not really something I need to own in my collection. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. And then after that, in 1997, 3 years later, they released something well, not completely, but it's kind of like a from left field kind of idea. Come My Fanatics, which is a fucking this is easily one of the best doom metal albums of all time. The tone and the heaviness on here is like unparalleled even to this day. I mean, you have bands like, you know, Slowmatics, Primitive Man, fucking Bong Ripper, bands like that. And yeah, sure, they're heavy as shit, but there's something about this that is just so... The tone of the guitar, as well as the bass, is just so heavy and grimy and has that, like... It just has that, like, fuck you punk attitude to it, which I fucking love. The first three songs are just absolutely incredible. Again, some of the best psychedelic doom you'll ever hear. Doom Mantia in particular, number 3, easily one of the best songs they've ever written. Absolutely phenomenal track. Number 4, Invixer Phase Inducer is cool. It's just kind of like a atmospheric psychedelic interlude. The next song, Son of Nothing, is great, and then the last song is instrumental, and it's just like this pummeling slab of just straight doom. It's near a perfect album. I fucking love this album. I actually, and this might be a hot take, I think this is actually heavier than fucking Dope Smoker, if I'm honest with you. It might not be quite as good, which we'll get to in a second, but yeah, this is a fucking phenomenal album. This is an easy 9 out of 10. After that, they released Chrononaut in 1997, which is an EP of 2 songs. I don't have that because it's really hard to get and it's pricey on Discogs. I really like that EP a lot, specifically the second song, which is instrumental, and it goes into these awesome like guitar effects and like, you know, kind of like pedal shit they do with like the psychedelia. But yeah, for the time, it's like ahead of its game. Yeah, great EP. I'd give that an 8 out of 10. And then after that, in 1998, they released Super Coven, which I also don't have. I would love to get that, but every time I see it on like Discogs or something, it's like 50 plus bucks, and it's like, I don't know if it's worth it for 2 tracks, but I have to get it eventually because specifically the second track, Burnout, is so fucking good. It's so dense. It's so like, again, that fuck you attitude, just like completely fucked up, filthy atmosphere. Not filthy like I hate God, but just like tripping out of your mind, which, you know, a lot of bands try to do nowadays, and a lot of them fail, either because like they just maybe never had like that type of a trip before, but like I don't know. I love the atmosphere of it. It's so not dark, but really just, I guess it is dark, but just in a different way. I don't know. That EP is fucking amazing. I had a fucking ex-girlfriend who had that on CD, and I and I was gonna like like offer to buy it off of her, I remember back in the day, but you know, things happen or whatever. But yeah, it's a rare EP, so if you can find it, if you see it at a record store or something, don't pass it up, because otherwise you're gonna have to go like pay $60 on Discogs. So then after that, in Dope Throne, in the year 2000, they released Dope Throne. So 3 years later from Come My Fanatics, and this is their iconic album. This is like arguably the most iconic doom metal album, next to like Sleep or something. This is like basically a perfect album. I really have no complaints. I mean, it opens with Vinum Sabbathe, which is great. It's quick, it's to the point. Funeralopolis, you gotta know that's, if you're in any way a fan of doom metal, you know Funeralopolis, the most iconic riffs in that. Weird Tales, the third song. I fucking love that song. I love how they just hold out the, I don't know what kind of pedal it is, like phaser, I guess, or something, but the ending of that song is just, again, perfect exemplification of an acid trip. After that, Barbarian, excellent. Again, more awesome psychedelic sections, just like layering. I, the Witchfinder, the next song, the psychedelic part in the latter half of that, where they just jam out, is just so fucking good. It's easily one of the best psychedelic moments in any song, period. I fucking love that song. We Hate You is great. That's another shorter one. And then Dope Throne. I will say, I don't know if Dope Throne was the best song to end the album on. It's a good song, but maybe like I, the Witchfinder would have been a little better. I feel like it's like a little bit underwhelming compared to the other songs, but I mean, this is like a 10 out of 10. It doesn't really get much better than this. So then after that, they released Let Us Pray in 2002. I don't have that. It's a good album. I listened to it full on, like, only about like a year or two ago. It's different. The title A Chosen Few, the first song is very good, and then it gets really sludgy in the second song, like I Hate God, which is cool. You know, I respect that kind of music. The third song, Master of Alchemy, is instrumental. It's okay. And then the one after that, The Outsider's pretty cool. And then the last song, Priestess of Mars, is really good. So it's a good album. I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. It's a little like inconsistent, but then after that, in 2004, they released We Live. I think they got a new drummer for this too. Yeah, so this is a very good album. I love the first track, Echo Azarak. I love his like soaring vocals on that. They're so cool. We Live is pretty good, the title track. It's not my favorite. I can't even read the songs on this fucking... Another Perfect Day is really cool. And then the last one, Saturn's Children, is a really fucking good song. So overall, this is good stuff. It's not as good as Come My Fanatics or Dope Throne, but it's very good. I'd give this an 8 out of 10. Specifically, the first and the last track are definitely the best. And then after that, in 2007, they released Witch Cult Today, which some might argue is like their last like really, really good album. Yeah, this one's great. There's so many... It's definitely different from Dope Throne and Come My Fanatics and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of really catchy parts to this, but they keep with the occult-drenched kind of atmosphere. There's still some good psychedelic parts. The title track is excellent. Dunwich. The Chosen Few is awesome. Torquemada 71 and Saturnine. It's just excellent stuff. Just pretty much all around, this is a great, great album. For a while, this was my second favorite under Dope Throne. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit different, but in a good way. I'd give this a 9 out of 10. And then after that, in 2010, they released Black Masses, which, yeah, I have this on CD too. I got it when it came out, I remember. This is an excellent album. Again, more catchiness. Has this very dense, like horror movie sounding kind of atmosphere to it, which is cool. I could see what they're going for. It's kind of a natural progression for them. The title track is great. Venus and Furs is great. The Night Child, Patterns of Evil, Turn Off Your Mind. There's a lot of really good songs on here. I really like this album a lot. I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah. And then after that, in 2012, they released the EP Legalize Drugs and Murder, which was pretty good. It's short. And then in 2014, they released Time to Die, which is kind of a continuation of Black Masses. It's a little bit different production, but there's some really good songs on here. Incense of the Damned, I Am Nothing, Funeral of Your Mind, Sadio Witch. It's a little inconsistent, but it's still some great shit. Again, most of these albums are better than like fucking like 95% of Doom out there. I mean, obviously like Dope Throne and Come My Fanatics and even like Witch Cult Today are better than like 99% of Doom out there, but Electric Wizard has a damn consistent discography, and this is no exception. I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's great stuff. And then after that, the latest album they released, Wizard Bloody Wizard, is easily my least favorite. I don't own that. It's not good. I listened to it again today. There's almost like no redeeming qualities to it. It sounds kind of like they went back to their first album, but it's like even worse. I don't really like it. So obviously they're long overdue for another album, and I hope they kind of step it up after that. But yeah, Electric Wizard, one of my favorite bands of all time, one of the best doom metal bands of all time, and one of the best psychedelic doom metal bands of all time. Just excellent stuff. If you haven't checked out their shit, obviously check it out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you later.